So the reason why you should be listening to me is because I talk to hundreds of wholesalers every single week because I run the sales division for Closure Control. So I've closed over 200 wholesalers, 200 real estate investors to come and be a part of what we have going on at Closure Control with fully building out the automations and AI within the system. So one thing I always hear on my call is, dude, I don't know what's going on, but I'm getting tired, and I truly believe because I need to automate the minimal tasks that is making me feeling burnt out. And I always ask them, well, like, define like what burnt out is, and they always tell me, well, sometimes like I don't even want to go to work, sometimes I don't even want to talk to sellers because I just don't know where to start. Well, that's not really feeling burnt out, it's just not knowing where to start. When I dive deep into the way they operate and the way their system is set up, I always ask them, well, tell me, what does follow-up look like? Because this is a task that needs to get done every single day to get a contract, to get paid, and to get that profitable dollar off of the marketing dollar you bought off of that lead, right? So like we all know this, follow-up needs to happen. So what we need to do here is we need to reverse engineer of what's going on, not of why you're feeling burnt out, but where do you really need to start in your day? So there's two things that we need to figure out before we get our day started is who are we gonna follow up with that day? Plus who we should be, there we go, calling. So these are the two things that we need to know going into our day. So the reason why follow-up is very important is because we can't just be calling into just anybody. We need to make sure that we are taking the time that we have, because we don't have 24 hours of the day. We probably have 5 to 8 hours of calling talk time if you're working 12-hour days. But we need to figure out who we need to be calling so we could get a contract or potentially push the sales forward with that seller. And then second, the reason why we need to know who we should be calling is so we're not calling into duds, we're not calling into landlines, we're not calling into leads that came into our pipeline yesterday or even a year before who was really never looking to sell in the first place. They were just looking for an offer. Once we figure out these two things, you'll be able to spearhead yourself into every single day focusing on how can we get that contract and how can we make that money. Now moving from follow-up, what does follow-up look like? Well, we need to make sure we're communicating across all channels first. So that's calling, that's texting, and guys, I have over 200 teams using Closure Control. Texting converts more than calling every single day by 10x, easy. And it's more scalable because how many calls can you take while you're on one phone call? You only take one call. But when you are following up with text messages, not only can you get a system to automate it so you don't ever have to follow up because a robot will essentially do it for you, you could be sending out 200 messages in a span of 10 seconds. So you could cover a lot more leads doing it this method. And then third is emailing. So first, you need to make sure you're proactively calling. Second, if your system or if you're not following up through texting or emailing, you got to find a system or you got to find a VA that you could hire for $3.50 to do that for you. Because what's the point of calling? Second, paying for an expensive lead if you're only trying to communicate with them across one channel. Now the real question is who we should be following up with. Number one, I haven't seen your system, I don't know your pipelines, but what you need to be doing is you need to be organizing every single lead that you talk to that comes into your system, okay? So what you need to do is you need a list of stages of where you can categorize these leads based off of where they are at in the selling process. So I'll go ahead and show you what not to do, but what everybody still does. So they'll have a stage, and guys, let's say like this is a panel box. They'll have 3 stages. Can we guess what it is? Cold lead, warm lead, hot lead. Well, guys, you guys are watching this clearly because you're probably wholesaling and you're looking to scale and make a lot more money. We already know that we cannot be categorizing our leads in these type of stages. What we need to be doing is getting more niche in where they're at. And I'll go ahead and I'll give you examples of stages that you can categorize in your own system, or if you're doing everything through Excel sheets or Google Docs, this is what you could do. So immediately, we would want a stage for whenever a new lead comes in, we need a stage for that lead. So we'll go ahead and put it as untouched. Obviously, this is a new lead that comes in that you haven't talked yet. So this will probably be at the very top of the list. Since we're leaving the stages cold lead, warm lead, hot lead, what are the next stages? Well, I got my computer in front of you and I'm going to share you game on what your stages should be on how you're going to organize these leads. So number one, we're going to do untouched. Number two, we're going to do ghosting. We're going to do hit list next. Guys, we have 21 stages in closure control. I'm not going to give you all 21 because I don't got time for that, but I'm going to give you the most important ones. We got interested. We got offer delivered. Do I want to give you offer rejected? Let's do closed deal. Okay guys, so I just gave you guys stages that you guys could put in your own system, in your own CRM. We got untouched, we got ghosting, we got hit list, we got interested, we got offer delivered, we got offer rejected, we got closed deal. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 is a lot better than 3. Now I'm going to walk you through why each lead is going to go into each stage. So untouched, we already know this is when new lead comes in. This is where a new lead comes in. Second, ghosting. We all got ghosted before. Like, I'm assuming we got a lot of people who got ghosted from girls because you guys don't have game. That's probably why you're watching this video. Just kidding. I love you guys. So we got ghosting. These are leads who have pretty much non-responsive for over, I'd say 7 to 9 days. And obviously through this whole week of these people ghosting you, you're texting them, you're emailing them, and you're banging the phones. So now I'm talking to the people who already have a system, who already have a CRM going on. You guys need to make sure you guys have a stage called hit list. Now, hit list should be anybody who responded back to an automation within a specific stage should automatically be put into this list. Essentially, every lead that is in this hit list is your hottest lead in the system because they responded back to a text campaign or an email campaign. So we need to get in front of them as soon as possible. So any lead that is coming from untouched, any lead that is responding back from ghosting should automatically be put in hit list. Next, we have interested. Obviously, we're going to get on calls with sellers who are looking to sell. Maybe they're not looking to sell now, but maybe in the next 2 or 3 weeks. We need an interested stage just so we could put these leads in there. So when we need to follow up with somebody, we could immediately come here and be like, okay, this is where I need to be calling into. Because these are people who are looking to sell in a timeline that's appropriate with me following up. Now we have here is offer delivered. So anytime you guys give an offer to a seller, you need to make sure you put them into this stage because we need to stay organized. Now we have offer rejected. These are people who rejected offers, and then we got closed deal. These are everybody that you closed on and done with the transaction and you guys got paid. So guys, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 stages that we need to integrate within our systems or CRM. If you're doing this on Google Sheets, you need to make sure you have all these 7 stages. Again, we have 21, but I don't have time to give you all the game because I'm busy. Okay guys, now you have the stages. Now we know who to follow up with. Now we have 7 stages here. Every single day, non-negotiable, you need to be hitting hit lists, you need to be hitting interested. And when I say hit these lists, you need to call into every single lead in that stage. You guys need to call into untouched, and you guys definitely need to call into offer rejected to be following up. Hey, you didn't like my offer at 50K 3 days ago. Where are you kind of at now? I know you said you needed to talk to the wife. So you guys have 4 stages that need to get hit every single day. Obviously, ghosting, offer delivered, closed deal, we need to be following up on those stages as well. So now that we have a whole list of organized leads, we need to now do what everybody hates. We need to set a schedule. All right? If I were you and I had these 7 stages, what I would do is I would make sure to hit every single stage every single day, depending on how many leads you have. If you have too many leads, I would prioritize hit list, I would prioritize untouched, and I would prioritize interested. And if you have time, acquisition managers or VAs, I'd prioritize ghosting. So now, when you wake up, I'm gonna go ahead and put a sun. Hopefully now you're happy now because now you know what to do as soon as you get in front of your computer in the morning. Maybe I will put like a backwards hat like that. That's cool. That's cool. So now when you wake up, you know you need to follow up. You know you need to be calling, texting, and emailing. Now you know who to follow up with because now you have an organized list of leads. And then now, since you have a set schedule, you're going to hit up all the leads that are looking to sell. So now we know who to follow up with. Now, number 2, who should we be calling? Guys, I don't want to waste my time. This is who we should be calling. So if you made it far enough in this video, clearly you want to know more about this and how you can optimize who we should be following up with and who we should be calling. Crazy part is we live in a day of age, and guys, the industry has changed in the past 2 years than it has changed in the past 50 years people have been investing in real estate. We now have systems that have automations and AI. So, if you guys plan to be in the business for the next 2 years and you guys want to make money there, and let's say you have money now, you are doing deals, you're doing everything manual, but you want to take it to the next level, and you do still plan on being in this game for the next 2 years, you guys need to hop on a CRM that is automated when it comes to text messages, when it comes to emails, when it comes to calling, when it comes to putting tasks in front of you, to talking to leads. Guys, I could literally go on for 3 hours on what your CRM, your system needs. I want you guys to know, you are not in the business to build systems. You guys are in the business to make calls and give offers. So I know we got my techie guys out there that love to build systems, that want to work on automations and integrate AI and even build out your own AI. But guys, that's not where the money is at. The money is making calls and giving offers. So you guys need to prioritize on doing that and have a system run your business and help you do all of that and push your business and even your leads closer to the end of the sales process where they sell, you guys make money. So when looking for a system, there's many things that you need to have in it. So you guys need to make sure there's support. So what does this look like? You don't know how the system works. You want to build an extra automation. Well, now you have support from that CRM that you're currently using to help you with all of that. You guys need to make sure in this system it has pre-built automations and text campaigns to be following up with your leads. Guys, again, your bread and butter is not building systems. It's not, oh man, this automation drip campaign that's going to be texting my lead. Not only do I need to figure out how often I should be texting them, but like, what should I be texting them? No, guys, any system you guys get into, needs to have everything already built out. Because what's the point of getting on a system where you need to build out everything? You guys also need to make sure you have all those stages that we talked about in this system, in this CRM. Most importantly, the system needs to be nurturing your leads. So going back to the stages over here. Every single stage that you see here needs to have an automation. And when I say automation, I mean a workflow where the system is texting these leads ever so often. So, for example, in closure control, any lead that comes into untouched, it immediately gets put into a workflow called 10 Days of Heaven, where we're going to text them every single day for 10 days until they answer. Now here, if those guys do not answer that workflow, 10 Days of Heaven, the system's automatically going to put them into ghosting. What happens in ghosting is that we're going to be sending a message every single week, basically forever. So you guys could build that too. Obviously, we need automations, offer rejected. Maybe every 4 to 5 days, you have an automation that goes out to the seller saying, hey, gave you an offer. Are you still looking to sell? Something where the system is going to be sending out these messages to constantly get in front of them. Even in closed deal, we want automations. Like maybe after 2 months of closing that deal, we're going to send over a text to that person. Hey, do you have any other properties you're looking to sell? Do you know anybody else that needs to sell or looking to sell their home? And then after that 2 months, we have another automation that goes out 2 months. That's quite similar copyright, quite similar text to what we sent 2 months ago, right? So like we need to constantly be in front of our leads, in front of our sellers. And guys, again, we live in a different day of age where we don't have to manually do this anymore. A system can take care of every single follow-up message. One more thing I want to touch up on. It's the golden word of our era, and we all hear it, AI. So AI could be doing many things. Like we have AI doing 9 different things in closure control. But the number one thing I need you guys to make sure you guys do have is AI talking to your leads. We need to make sure AI is talking to our leads. And from having 200 clients, 200 teams using closure control, best way for AI to talk to leads is through texting. So how do you integrate this? Guys, DM me AI at my Instagram and I'll show you how to do that. But we need to make sure that AI is texting our leads and pushing them down the sales cycle. So just to give you like an example, what AI does in closure control, many things, but what we love to do and what our clients love is when AI books appointments with the seller on the acquisition manager's calendar. So what would take a human, regardless of who you are and how good you are, it'll take a human anywhere from 5 minutes to 20-minute call to qualify a seller. Well, what if AI can qualify a seller through text messages and set up an appointment for you? Crazy thing is, you guys might not believe me, but it happens. AI could be texting all your leads in your system all at the same time. So after you get done qualifying that seller on phone call, AI could have possibly qualified 50 buyers in your system and appointment setted you 10 appointments for the rest of the week. We live in the day of age. Again, if you guys want to know more, DM me AI.